At last, mounting on each other's shoulders, helping themselves by the skeleton of the staircase, climbing up the walls, hanging from the ceiling, cutting to pieces at the very edge of the hatchway, the last to resist, some 20 of the besiegers, soldiers, National Guards, Municipal Guards, pell-mell, most disfigured by wounds in the face in this terrible ascent, blinded with blood, furious, becoming savages, made an irruption into the room of the first story. There was now but a single man there on his feet, Enjolras. Without cartridges, without a sword, he had now in his hand only the barrel of his carbine, the stock of which he had broken over the heads of those who were entering. He had put the billiard table between the assailants and himself. He had retreated to the corner of the room, and there, with a proud eye, haughty head, and that stump of a weapon in his grasp, he was still so formidable that a large space was left about him. A cry arose.
"This is the chief! It is he who killed the artilleryman, as he put himself there. It is a good place. Let him stay. Let us shoot him on the spot."
"Shoot me!"
said Enjolras. And throwing away the stump of his carbine and folding his arms, he presented his breast. 12 men formed in a platoon in the corner opposite Enjolras and made their muskets ready in silence. Then a sergeant cried,
"Take aim!"
Within a few seconds, Grantaire had awakened. Grantaire, it will be remembered, had been asleep since the day previous in the upper room of the wine shop, sitting in a chair, leaning heavily forward on a table. Noise does not waken a drunkard, silence wakens him. This peculiarity has been observed more than once. The fall of everything about him augmented Grantaire's oblivion. Destruction was a lullaby to him. The kind of halt in the tumult before Enjolras was a shock to his heavy sleep. It was the effect of a wagon at a gallop stopping short. The sleepers are roused by it. Grantaire rose up with a start, stretched his arms, rubbed his eyes, looked, gaped, and understood. Retired as he was in a corner, and as it were, sheltered behind the billiard table, the soldiers, their eyes fixed upon Enjolras, had not even noticed Grantaire, and the sergeant was preparing to repeat the order,
"Take aim!"
when suddenly they heard a powerful voice cry out beside them,
"Vive la republique! I belong to it!"
Grantaire had arisen. The immense glare of the whole combat, which he had missed, and in which he had not been, appeared in the flashing eye of the transfigured drunkard. He repeated,
"Vive la republique!"
crossed the room with a firm step, and took his place before the muskets beside Enjolras.
"Two at one shot,"
said he, and turning toward Enjolras gently, he said to him,
"Will you permit it?"
Enjolras grasped his hand with a smile. The smile was not finished when the report was heard.